Hi Gemini, this is your horoscope for November 2023. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to give you an idea of what the planets are doing here in November, how they interact. And the point of these horoscopes is to try and get a sense of the energy over the coming month, how that's going to impact Gemini specifically, and whether you're a sun sign Gemini or rising sign or ascendant Gemini or moon sign Gemini. It's really about how this translates for you specifically. Okay, so the first thing that happens in November that I think is significant, on the 4th of November, we have Saturn, the planet of structure and security. That sits at the very top of your chart. In Pisces at 0 degrees. So the top of the chart is really the position of noon. It's the way you feel when you're up and about and when you're busy and when you're working and when you're living your life, right? And having Saturn is priceless, I think, for you guys in Gemini, because it sits right on top of your life like a solid beacon that says everything is solid and fine, and we can build whatever it is we want. So for you, Gemini, who's looking for solutions and ways forward, there's this amazing sense of, I am okay, everything's going to be okay in November. And if you start anything, in my experience, along those lines, the whole thing is much more enjoyable, and usually the outcome is better because you come into it with positive vibes and feelings. So this looks really good for you in November, just via that Saturn going direct on the 4th. Saturn is an outer planet, so I don't pay as much attention to the retrogrades as I do with the personal planets, because like it says in the name, they affect you personally. But Saturn going direct, it means there are more opportunities for security or to get yourself in a solid position from now on until next year. So if you are trying to kind of build something, make use of that and really kind of just get into the mind zone, if possible, that over the next 6 months, pretty much, I can build whatever it is I want or I need to. On the 8th of November, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty and creativity. That goes into Libra, and Venus is very happy in Libra because it rules that sign. Libra, Venus is charming and connective and creative and personable, and really when it comes to your relationships, it bodes really well. It means that there are going to be fewer arguments and misunderstandings. But for you, Gemini, it's in the best placement it can be in. It's in your 5th house of what you love. So from the 8th of November onwards, relationships, particularly romantic relationships, are going to be very, very important to you. And at the same time, we've got the Sun and Mars, and you're transiting midheaven and Ceres and the part of fortune and Mercury. They're all in Scorpio in your 6th house of your daily routine. So if you're in a place where things are boring and mundane, around the 8th of November, you're really going to have a desire to experience something and to feel alive. And you don't want to do that so much through work. You want to do that through your connections with other people. So relationships are going to become a priority here in November. On the 10th of November, we have Mercury, the communication planet, going into Sagittarius, and it hops over from your 6th house of work into your 7th house of relationships. So that says I want to experience new things, right? I want to meet new people. I want to have a new love. I want to see new locations. I just want to be enchanted by something that's new and that's different. I want to broaden my own horizons. I want to learn something that's never appeared on my radar before. So you're super adventurous and you're willing to take risks and to open yourself up to new experiences and people. On the 13th of November, we've got the new moon happening in Scorpio. And that now happens in your 6th house of daily routine and your work and your physical health and the way you feel, this new moon being in Scorpio, about your everyday life. So it's interesting, Gemini, because you get a sense of this is achievable, this is what I can do. And at the same time here on the 13th of November, what is revealed to you is your current circumstances and whether those fit you or still fit you or not. And it's kind of like identifying what the potential issue is, and then immediately having the solution to that potential problem as well, because you get to recognize this is where I'm at, and now because I see it really clearly, I can make decisions about where I want to be in future. So any Geminis who aren't kind of 100% happy with the situation they're in, it's really a good opportunity for you to change things around and to have some fun and to explore different areas like love or travel or building something that's really meaningful to you. On the 20, so this continues. We've got all that Scorpio energy in your 6th, and then we've got Jupiter, the lucky planet, and Uranus, the planet of the miraculous, in Taurus in your 12th. So this sense of anything is possible is super, super strong for you guys, and it echoes the sentiment of Saturn at the top of your chart that, of course, everything's going to work out. Everything is solid, and I just need to show up for the kind of house to build itself. It's a really wonderful kind of free lunch kind of vibe. So Jupiter and Uranus in your 12th, they give you this amazing perspective that anything is possible, and I don't need to feel down about anything really. And then all that Scorpio stuff in your 6th is I want to have a real experience when it comes to my life circumstances. I don't want to fake it. I don't want to do it just for the security. I want to feel something. That's really, I want to feel something. So whatever makes you feel intense connection, look at that in November. It's going to pay off. On the 23rd, the Sun, which is what you're striving towards on a conscious level, that goes into Sagittarius in your 7th house. It's next to your transiting midheaven, which is work, and Mercury is already in Sagittarius. So the 7th house is relationships of all sorts. It's your personal relationships, relationships with colleagues, friends, family, anybody really. All that Sagittarius energy says the same thing. I want to have a lot of people around me. I want to see a lot of and hear a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different ways of living. I don't want to just do the same old thing. So really, Gemini, I think you crave change here in November and you want something new. I think you should pursue that. There's no real risk. What it reveals to you is how you really feel about your existing life, and then if that's not satisfying, then you can change it. So it's a process of kind of revelation. On the 24th of November, we have Mars also going into Sag in your 7th house. So Mars is the red planet of desire. The strongest element on the day is fire. So my relationships are now at number 1, top priority on my to-do list. And again, I want to experience something life affirming there, something that makes me feel passionate in the heat and be in the present moment. On the 20th, and that's really important, you know, because life, if we don't kind of intervene and do things for ourselves, it can just tick along and you blink and a year's gone. It's really important to sometimes tap into this and to say, I'm going to just throw everything up in the air and see where the chips land, because it's fun. On the 27th, we have that full moon in Gemini, so in your sign, and it's in your 1st house of self. The full moon is at 5 degrees in Gemini. So for you, there's going to be an amazing sense of freedom and accomplishment associated with this. So if you work at your relationships and at exploration all month, then by the end of the month here, you'll have this moment of completion and, oh my God, I did it. I got what I set out to do. Hooray me. Well done. On the 27th as well, we have Venus in Libra, and that opposes Chiron in Aries. So the opportunity to heal what's missing in your relationships and where you are with your own hopes and dreams. But then we also have a grand cross in the chart on this day. It connects via 4 squares, creating a big red square. The moon in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces, Mars and the Sun in Sagittarius, and Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. And the question may be, I've now worked to create all this abundance. Is it right? Or is there more to do? Did I just take the first step? So it's wonderful, you know, because on the 27th, you have this major sense of accomplishment, and then it immediately leads into, well, this worked out. How can I build on this and make it even greater? So it looks like a really productive and positive month for you, particularly with that priceless sense of, I know everything's going to be okay. So there's no stress. It's almost like I'm just going through the motions. I've got a cheat sheet here and I feel good about it. And that then spills over into your actual circumstances. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a good way. So that's what I get for you here in November. I hope you have a fabulous month. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. All the best, and I will speak to you soon. Check out some of my other videos on the new moon, the full moon, and I do daily tarot readings on this channel as well. So if you're interested in any of that, please check it out. Have a great November, and I'll speak to you soon.